Alright, so what we have here is the build to make a Raspberry Pi computer. So I got the Raspberry Pi B+, Raspberry Pi 3. Alright, so this is the board. So it comes with Ethernet in. You've got 4 USBs. Alright, this is your audio out, so microphone, speakers out, audio jack. You have a camera port, you have the HDMI, and it's the normal side HDMI, not the mini. You've got your power source, you've got your display, you got your GPIOs, right, your chip, and of course, so there's your, and then on the back side you have, and I have here a 32 gigabyte SD card, and that's your memory, and just components on the bottom. So the other things that you're going to need that comes with all this, so this is the motherboard. So what I'm going to be building is, I bought a 7-inch Raspberry Pi touchscreen. This is $60, $63 Canadian. This was $62, $63 Canadian as well, Amazon.ca. You can find it wherever though, they find it much cheaper. So what comes with the screen, now the one I got already had the chip installed on the back, and it also was connected to that chip. But what you would normally do, obviously, is the chip would come, you have inputs on the back side and the top side, and those, you connect those to the connectors, and then this is already pre-connected into the screen, so that's where it goes into there. And so then you have these spacers that go on top, right? And then that's how you can install the Raspberry Pi on top of it. You have your pin connector. You also have 2 pins to power, so rather than have separate power sources, so if you notice on the 7-inch touchscreen, it has its own power in, so if you're going to do it by itself, you also have the RPI display pins there as well, and of course you have your USB. So rather than have to connect a separate power source to that, a separate power source to the Raspberry, you can use the GPIOs to do that, right? Of course, this is what connects the screen, and then we have some screws and that, and I also have a GPI dongle. So I went with just a basic GPI dongle, again, very basic, simple. I think this was $9 as well. All right, so these components, all this comes with the screen, so you don't have to buy anything extra, but you do have to buy the Pi, the dongle, the screen, and then of course the 32 gigabyte disk. Okay, so when it comes to putting this together, you have here all your parts. So if you notice here for your GPIO pins, you have multitude here, you have the 5 volts, so this is your power, you have your ground all the way back here at the bottom, and then of course you have extras, INT, SDA, SCL, depending on what you were doing. Again, you have that RPI display pin, USB, and then so all the screens already connected, and then there's your power. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to connect the wires. So with this, you notice that the pins, the pull out, you pull this out, you got 2 tabs on the end, you can pull it out, plastic piece. So your pins are always going in the direction opposite of that pull out. So it should just slide in there, nice and easily. All right, and then all you have to do, make sure it's nice in there straight, because if it angles, you could end up having it hit 2 pins, and obviously that's going to cause a short, ruin the screen. So you push those 2 in, and there you go, that part's connected. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your wire and you're going to connect it to the red to the 5 volt input, and then you're going to take the black and you're going to put that into the end over here into the ground GND. Alright, so those two are connected. That's connected. Now your next step is you take your cover, there we go. You have thinner fingers. This will be much easier for you. I was gifted big fat fingers. It doesn't help that fat myself, but they've always been short, stubby fingers. Alright, now we can turn everything down. Not too tight. Again, just enough to be snug. I'm not putting any real pressure on it. Okay, so now you have your board installed on top of the video board. Alright, so what you're going to do, again, is you're going to pull this out. This is what connects it, or, you know, secures it. And then, of course, you have your... Alright, so you put this in here. Pins facing out. I guess in this case. Get it in there. Oh, gotta make sure it's nice and straight. It's not straight. Come on. Alright, if y'all have this issue, let me know. Hashtag fat finger problems. Yeah, watch that start trending. I don't understand that shit. Dude, it's trending. It's so cute. Ew. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so next part you gotta connect. Once that's connected, is you gotta connect the power. So in the GPIs, they go basically this row here starts, they all have a number and they all have a server purpose. So the top row here, the inside top, this is 1 from the outside going in, 1, and then it goes, this is all odd, so 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, etc. Right, and then on the bottom here you have 2, 4, 6, and so forth. So the first two here, these are power, so you could put them either the second or fourth dongle. So I'm just going to put it, because I like to have them close together, I'm going to put this on the second. This allows me to get the power there, and then of course the sixth dongle is the ground, so you connect the ground there, and there you go. So you have those two connected, you have your pins connected and all that. So your screen is now connected to the Raspberry Pi chip. Then you're also have the power going from the chip, from the video card to the motherboard here. All right, and then of course the last part you have is you take your GPS and turn that around. So that goes there. I will put that, yeah, I'll put that in the middle. Alright, so there we go. So now you have everything connected. Alright, so that's all there. And of course, now you have the screen itself. And then there you can see it all connected. Alright, GPS in and all that. Okay. Alright, for this we're going to show you how to get the Raspberry Pi imager. So basically you just go here on Google, and you can type in Raspberry Pi imager for Windows, Mac, Ubuntu, depending on what you're using. Alright, and then that allows you to come down to here, goes to the actual website raspberrypi.org. Right, and then that way you're secure, you know exactly what you're getting when you're getting it. Right, so as it says, Raspberry Pi OS, Raspberry Pi needs an operating system to work. That is it. Raspberry Pi OS, previously called Raspbian, is our official supporting operating system. So basically, you're going to download for Windows. Click on this. All right, it's going to show up here in the bottom, Imager 1-5.exe, or depending on when you're doing this, it'll be the most current one. Once that's completed, you're going to then go to the Raspberry Pi imager. In the imager, you will see you have a couple different options. You have choose operating system, you have choose your SD card, and of course write is grayed out at the moment as you can't write. Now when you go to choose OS, you're going to see you're going to have a lot of different options that you can choose from. Now we are going to be using the Raspberry Pi OS 32, but you have others such as Ubuntu, RSIC, OS, other general purpose media players, if you want to make an emulation game OS, other specific miscellaneous utilities, of course erase and use custom. When you first get your 32 gigabyte card, it's always a good idea to use the erase format card as FAT32. That way you are sure that everything's going to work. So you're going to click on Raspberry Pi OS, you'll choose your SD card, and then you'll hit write, and boom, it'll write to the image, and now you're ready to put the card onto the Raspberry Pi. So that's gone now. So you see she's booted up. I've already installed all this on her, and of course there you have the touchscreen. Now the touchscreen comes with, you said you have a arrow. You can decide what you want to click on, right? You can go here. You have all of your different aspects to it, right? So you can go here, program, education, internet, sound, video. So now of course this has Bluetooth and this has Wi-Fi connected into it. So it's all pre-built in, so you can connect your Wi-Fi, you connect your Bluetooth. Now I have a Bluetooth keyboard, so it was easy for me to use a keyboard, but I'm also going to show you how to install the virtual keyboard so that you can type on that, right? And of course you can find that once you install it. You're going to find that in accessories, right? And then you're going to see down here, I have it here as keyboard, and now I have a working keyboard, right? And then of course when I don't need it, turn it off, right? And then I can just use my keyboard. You can also plug in a mouse. It's as simple as plug and play. So again, I just have a regular cheap mouse that I bought, right, corded. So you plug it in to the back. All right, and now I have the mouse. All right, you have your terminal, you have your internet, your files. All right, so come here, and then of course I have the OpenCPN. So this opens up. All right, so here's everything. So you can see that's where it thinks I am. Obviously, oh, I got 2 satellites now. Oh, 3. So we're getting network. It's finding everything and getting that organized. So let's see, here we are. All right. Okay, right, so it's finding, I got, looks like 3.5 satellites, takes a little bit. All right, so there we are. I'll just get rid of this for the moment. All right, so there we are. All right, we're in land right off of Finding Island and Grassy Island here. All right, somewhere over here. And then of course, the marina that I'm in, I believe is this one. It's either this one. Nope, I think it's this one. Yep, that's where it is. This big one. That's where she's at right now. All right, you can zoom out. All the different maps in the U.S. and all that. So these are just the NOAA charts. There you go. So I also attached Watchdog because obviously I have the GPS. I can also have a anchor alarm, right? So it's not available right now because satellites are still picking up. It takes a moment for it to get there and all that. So yeah, and of course I got the logbook, weather facts. I need it. I have my dashboard right here. We're still just 3 satellites. It usually takes about 2-3 minutes from boot up to get everything started. There we go. So there is OpenCPN on it, right? And then the only thing I have left to do is create a waterproof backing for this, and then I'm going to install this on the boat. I'm probably going to install it right into a spot, so it just stays there. I have a secondary navigation computer on the inside that I can just look at and maintain wherever I am.